All right, here we go. Late night happy hour on a Monday.
Hold on, I gotta send something out here.
Send
Or try
something
to
out.
tweet. Try to tweet. Hold on, I'm going away for 2 seconds. I'll be back.
Who knows what Adam's doing? We have a lot to get into on a Monday. Crazy day.
There we go. Very important. Had to send a tweet.
Okay.
Tell people I'm here. Oh Lord. Better.
It's gonna be rough.
There we go.
Oh, from isolation. There you go. Or was it your breaking news from Pizza Hut? The Pizza Hut's triple decker box will include 2 medium, 1 topping pizzas, 5 breadsticks, and 10 mini cinnamon rolls.
But the quality of food or the content of the food really doesn't matter, right? It's how great the packaging is.
Yeah. I mean, it's intriguing, no doubt.
It's like one box with 2 slide out pizzas and then 1 slide out compartment for the breadsticks and the cinnamon rolls. It's perfect.
Has it started yet, or when does it start?
I have no idea. I didn't read the story. I just sent out the tweet. I mean, listen, I'm very bored. I've been in my bedroom for like 11 days now, so.
The worst. Stupid spelling error in the tweet on the way out. Damning. Without an N. Son of a bitch.
Wait, who, me?
No, me.
Oh, okay.
All right, so what's the update on the COVID?
No real update. I mean, feel fine. Just trapped. I mean, it sucks, man. Like, first of all, it sucks having it and getting it, and I was very, very lucky in terms of what I had to deal with in terms of symptoms. But I like I'll say this. Like, I was talking about going to Abu Dhabi for the Conor McGregor fight, which I still hope to do next month. And one of the things I talked about is like when you go there for the UFC trip, you have to isolate in a hotel room for like 3 days.
Yeah.
Like you can't leave. And I said, you know what? That'll be the best part to me. Like you just can't go anywhere. You're just in a room. You've got your food brought to you. Like it sounds great. You're just isolated from the world. Get away for a couple of days. It's awesome. Changed my mind on that one. It sucks.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you could do anything now after this.
No. I'm saying it sucks. I mean, I would still do it, obviously, but I wouldn't look forward to it as much as I thought I would.
Yeah, and your isolation's like as compared to most family. I guess it's not different. I guess anyone who's had it, you are supposed to lock yourself away from your family. So
well, you're supposed to, but I think like reading a lot of this, I've read so much stuff the last 11 days, obviously, but and it just makes sense. Like it's just not feasible in a lot of households, right? Like, if they say use a separate bedroom and separate bathroom from everybody else, well, that's not really possible for a lot of people. And so I feel like, I feel bad kind of talking about my situation, knowing that like I'm in a more advantageous position than a lot of people would be,
right.
Where you wouldn't be able to totally isolate from a family. You wouldn't be able to totally isolate from everyone, just because it wouldn't be possible. So to have a house and have people, that can help me out and stuff like that is a different situation. But it's still, and I also don't want to say, as much as I've been joking that it feels like prison, which it does, it doesn't. I mean, it's 2 weeks and I have my computer, my phone, my TV, like my bathroom, like my breathing machine that hook me up to, clear out the sinuses and stuff. Like I don't think you have a lot of those things in a prison. So again, I understand that when I'm making light of my situation, like it could be a lot worse, but it does still really suck. And battling like, and at the same time being nervous that something's going to happen in terms of symptoms developing, um the anxiety of that, the anxiety of did you pass it on to somebody else before you went into isolation, just the fear, like all that stuff building up. And we've talked about I have mental problems anyway, but like all of that stuff weighing on you is brutal.
Yeah.
It's just brutal.
Well, I echo
So
the sentiments of Truth from Duluth. You people with siblings are just so soft. Of course, he typed that right before you dropped the mental health issue bomb on us.
yeah,
Right before.
yeah. But I mean, again, and I realize it could be way, way worse. I know, and no, I'm whining, but there was a lot to deal with going through this. In the first few days, I mean, I was a wreck. Now I'm a wreck just because I'm like I got to get out, and I don't know the process of getting out. That's the other thing.
So
Where
what's the process?
well, the CDC would say I could get out now. I could just leave and go back and be part of society.
No test.
No, and in fact it says the testing is worthless because most likely I'll still test positive and it'll still be in my system. It could be in my system for up to 3 months. And so the CDC says don't even get tested, just go back. I don't really feel comfortable doing that. Both in my household and going back to work and that sort of thing.
Well, you have no choice at work. For your most important part of work, you really have no choice. I guess you could do it and stay away, but to get access to the Raiders again, you have to go back into the system.
No, Raiders told me I'm in.
Really?
Yeah, because they're not testing anymore. You can't go to the facility anyway.
Oh, that's a good point.
So it's just the press box, and the press box they don't test anyway. So they said my isolation period is over, and I'm good.
Wow.
But in fact, I mean that's where I tested positive, just so we can go through the details or whatever. I tested positive like the last day the Raiders were testing.
So that was like 2 Thursdays ago you tested positive, right?
Yeah, yeah. So this would be 10 days.
Yep.
And so yeah, this is the day. Like I actually talked to one of the Raiders guys who runs their program, and he's like, "Oh, it must feel good, right? You're out." And I was like, "No, no."
So what are you gonna do?
So I am trying to cover the UFC event this week. There's a UFC pay-per-view on Saturday.
Right.
Their testing starts Wednesday.
All right.
So I'm going there Wednesday. Hopefully get the result back. And
how quick is that test back? Then like that day?
7 hours usually.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah. So hopefully, I kind of want to get 2 negatives, so I'll probably try to go Thursday also. But yeah, it's just this process unknown, and like I said, like the CDC guidelines say don't even get tested. They said you're 10 days and you're clear. Especially because part of it is you have to go 24 hours without a fever, and I never had a fever. So according to theirs, like I can leave and I can go out and I can be a part of society again and I'm good. But I just don't feel necessarily comfortable with that. So we'll see. I mean, if I'm one of those cases that test positive for months, like it's just kind of latent in your system. Actually, the UFC testing guy was kind of joking about it with that project didn't say it, but he's like, yeah, like a picogram, like John Jones, it could just be in your system forever. And I was like, okay.
Oh boy. You're the last one. You're the last one who needs that, believe me.
Yeah. So, we'll see. We'll see what it is. But I mean, my hope is that Wednesday I go and I test negative. But I have to be prepared for it being positive, and then what's the next steps from there? I know that I'm about 3 days behind a friend of mine, who she's in the medical field, and believe me, I'm not saying who this is because I'm not comfortable with all these things either. But she 3 days ago she tested positive again, and work said that's fine. You're back to work.
If you aren't somewhat of a public figure, this is kind of a brilliant idea. It's vicious. Brady says sources say you've been spending time at anti-mask rallies the last 11 days. What if you went and you're just shaking people's hands, kissing them? I mean, I know you don't kiss and you don't really shake hands, but like I think that big guy was new. We never saw him before at our rallies.
You're saying like go just intentionally inflict people?
Yeah. Just be a bastard.
It's just not my nature. I mean,
it's a hoax. It's a hoax.
Listen, I said, and part of it is because of people close to me, but I mean, my just the terror for the first couple of days of not knowing if I passed it on,
right?
To somebody. was really bad. And I don't even know if that's possible because I tested negative every day up to it. So it's such a rare thing to be tested every day, and so most people don't know that first day. They've been positive for several days and probably start to be symptomatic, and then they get tested, and it's too late. So I know I'm in a very unique situation that I'm tested every day, but I tested negative, 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 then positive. So um, I don't think there was a whole lot of time to be passing it on, but still, there's that concern.
You can give it out. Who'd you get it from?
No clue. I will say,
Lotus or RJ related?
well, I haven't been to the RJ in years.
Well, RJ related would be the stuff that you do on the RJ beat
video. Yeah, but nobody else got it.
Wow.
So I can't imagine it was. I did go, like, I don't know what the timelines would be. I went to dinner last, what was it, Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever, the night before I tested.
So Tuesdays.
Dinner.
Where'd you go?
Don't
tell me it was with the COVID hoaxers.
No. It's a really nice place. Actually, one of my top 3 favorite restaurants in town that is very, very careful. Like, their protocols are really good. But I was with a couple friends. I don't think they're open. I was with a couple friends. As far as I know, none of them tested positive.
All right.
But oh yeah, Allie did have an exposure, right? Wasn't her. But none of them tested positive, but none of them have been tested. Like, none of them are sick, so nobody got tested. I don't think it was false because there was earlier in the day I had a inconclusive, and then later in the day I had to retest and it was positive. So I don't think it was false. Kind of, Brady. I got the inconclusive followed by the positive. So I don't think it was negative. And I also, here's the other part. Like, I keep, people keep saying, well, were you symptomatic, asymptomatic? Like, I don't know. Because I would say I never had a fever. I never had like breathing issues, anything like that. I never really coughed. I did have really, really bad fatigue. Like, it was awful. I did not want to get out of bed for like 4 days at least. But that also, like I said, like, I was so stressed and so depressed and so anxious and all of those things. Plus, I think your body's trying to fight it off. So I mean, I think I would say I was probably asymptomatic. The fatigue was really the only thing, and it was, believe me, it was bad. Like, it was really bad because I used to laugh about people saying like, "Oh, fatigue is a symptom," and I'm like, "What? How is fatigue a symptom? Like, it's just tired." Like, no. It just like weighs you. Like, it just feels like you're weighed down like all day. It's crazy. So I don't know. I'm getting a test Wednesday. Hopefully it's negative. That's the hope. We'll find out.
Who else has questions for Adam?
Yeah, fire away.
COVID story time with Adam.
And by the way, it's completely out of control. I can taste, I can smell, fine there. The spread is so out of control right now. Like I said, I had a good friend of mine who in the medical field, she got it. 2 other friends I just found out today got it. And then I have another friend who you know very well. She was with the 2 people that tested positive like 4 days ago. They tested positive like today, so now she had to get a test. And she's been so careful through the whole time. But she was, the night before Thanksgiving, they sat around and were lamenting the fact that they couldn't go home and couldn't do anything. And all of a sudden, those 2 that she was hanging out with turned up positive. So, like, even when you're careful, even when you think you're around just, people that are, that are safe, you can still get it. It sucks. I know. I think
he likes doing the show like this.
I don't. Really. I like my video set up downstairs. Also, my arm gets exhausted doing this one. just holding my phone above me.
Yeah, if you're just in, Adam tested positive like 2 weeks ago for COVID, so he might be coming out of it now. Might be coming out of it now.
Hopefully, haven't shaved since, you can tell.
If your taste is a little diminished, you should try some spicy food. I agree with this.
Yeah, I'll get on that. It's the right time.
Jay Lawrence said it's spreading so bad everywhere. I think eventually almost everyone will get it.
Yeah,
I hope not.
It's trending. It's trending that way.
It's not a good trend. I don't want it.
No, and if you, I mean, like I said, I know not everybody can do it the way I did. Like I'm still able to work, and not everybody has that option. And if you get it, some people have to make the decision to keep going to work and doing that, and that really sucks. And I'm not faulting them because some people have to be in that situation. But that's also how it spreads even more. And I was very fortunate that I was able to just bunker down in a room that I haven't left in 11 days and work for the most part. It was a normal work schedule, but
let's see. Twitter on the shitter. My uncle tested positive 2 weeks ago. Day before he tested, he was with my 94-year-old grandma. Actually, I think the because you texted me at like maybe 3 a.m. on Friday morning, I think it was.
Yeah.
I think. And let's see, 11 hours before, I was sitting across a table from the SO's parents who are like 76, 77. I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah, perfect.
Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Well, we hadn't done the show together that week, I think. Or are we in the studio on Monday?
Yeah, we were. Do we give the whole story? So here, I'll give the whole story at Lotus. So Adam gets it late in the week. Monday, there was someone else on the staff who had been exposed already. Their significant other had actually tested positive for it. So they were in the building. So it was like coming from both directions where it's like, okay, now Adam has it, someone else. So the whole staff had a test. So not to be like, wah, because Adam actually got it. But yeah, for like the next 4 or 5 days, we all were waiting on tests and trying to find out. So, and here's the thing: once you test, there's a pretty good chance that like within a week, you could know someone else who got it, and you're exposed, and you're going for a test again. So,
yep.
So good luck to everybody, because I don't know. In my case, I haven't been to the station in a couple of weeks, and I'm not going back until vaccines. Either I get a vaccine or the majority of the building has a vaccine. But what are you going to do? You're trying to be as careful as possible. But
I still don't know how effective. I still don't know how effective the vaccine is going to be, honestly. And not to bring people even down, but
this is the Josh Allen portion of our hopeful discussion. Here comes a black cloud over the vaccine. Go ahead.
No, it's just what I'm dealing with personally. But I was told by the Raiders person I'm talking to, and also by reading a lot online, the CDC stuff that's been coming out, like if there is any immunity, it's only 3 months, and it's really not a guaranteed immunity anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so like they told me like, for the next 3 months, you're probably okay. Not definitely okay. They're like, still wear the mask and still distance. Like, don't walk around like, laughing in COVID's face. But there's a pretty good chance you have immunity for like 3 months. But after that, there's really no guarantee at all. And so I don't know how the vaccine is any different than that. Listen, I'm certainly not an expert. But I've probably read more in the last 11 days than almost anybody else in the world has. And, beyond 3 months, there's really just there's really nothing, at all to say that you're going to be immune from it. So I don't know if you have to get it every 3 months or how they're going to work that out, but still scary.
Jay Lawrence said, we had my in-laws over for Thanksgiving, but we all wore masks and social distance during dinner. Now, did you wear the mask like in between bites? Because I had my first. Has that started to spread? The request by restaurants and bars that now you only take off the mask when you're actively drinking or eating. Have you seen this? Well, you haven't because you haven't been out. But anyone else in the chat room?
Well, I think it started before anyway.
Yeah.
Because I'll say one of the last places I did go, I went to I keep saying place. I won't say the names of them. I was at a sports book the previous Sunday.
Yeah.
Kind of in a secluded area, not around people. And even in that case, um, I was eating a salad, and I switched from salad to a drink of water. And when I put the fork down to switch to water, a security guard came over and he was like, "Hey, you got to put a mask on in between." And I was like, "I was just switching from my fork to my bottle of water." And he's like, "Yeah, in between." I'm like, "Okay."
Where was this at?
A sports book.
Well, is that a bad thing? Are you mad at that?
No, no. It was. I mean, it's the logistics of it. Like literally put a fork down to pick up a bottle of water, and I was like, I don't know how I would even do. I have to use the other hand.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I don't know how the logistic. And listen. Any safety measures that are in place, I'm all for.
I think we should have done that from the get go, but I think people would have melted down, and I think they're going to react the same way now.
Yeah.
I don't know. We went to the Suncoast because I told the story on the air today. I actually for the Jets Raiders game when the Raiders sputtered with however much time was left. I know the Jets got the ball back at like 128 or something.
Yeah.
When the Raiders' second to last drive, when they were done, I turned off the TV and got in the car. I was like, "Fuck this, like fucking Jets." And then I was driving over to pick up the SO because she had some brunch with a friend, and on the ride over, that's when car hits rugs. But so we go over to the Suncoast, and we're kind of sitting in that bar area, the table area. I don't know if you know the sports book there, and they've got it down to like it's a big area. They've got it down to like maybe 7 tables in the whole area, really spaced well. But they had a note on their sign. They're like, keep the mask on unless you are actively drinking. So like literally between every swig, you put the mask back on. I never thought about it the entire time until, right, I had no problem with it. Drink, mask. It's not a big deal.
No.
Until there was a woman across from me, like she was the closest one, her table, her and some dude, and security guards came up, and they actually, what they were doing is they were walking around and kind of playing the mind games with you. They're like, we really appreciate you guys keeping your mask on. We really appreciate it when you did it. So you're like, okay. But now they walked over to this lady and she had her mask down and she's like, you know, they left and she's like, fuck this. I can't do this. I'm like, all right, fucking biggest pussies in the world, man.
Yeah, it's amazing.
God damn. Is it that fucking hard?
No, it shouldn't be.
It's an inconvenience, but who cares?
Yeah. So if like I don't know if I got it from going to dinner that night. I've been trying to put together like where it could have happened. So maybe it was just going to dinner with just a couple of friends who, you know, weren't sick. Like I don't know where it was from, but I wish in retrospect I would have put my mask on in between bites. Probably would have been smarter.
You know, I will say the downside of the Suncoast, and I like that place, and we've done a lot of stuff with them over the years. I don't know what it is with the back of their property. Well, it's because the fucking hotel's on top of you, but it is back by the movie theater. Oh. It is a fortress back there.
No reception.
There's no reception. Nothing. That doesn't mean I couldn't use a camera, but I just turned off the phone. And every time I wanted to make a bet, which I think in the end we're all losing bets, so I probably should have just stayed inside. But every time I had to make a bet, I would have to walk out to the front entrance on the side, sit there, wait for some reception, and then, you know, do my stupid tweets and bets. But yeah, it's crazy in the back. So no, I did not get a video of. And she was a Karen. She was like probably a 42-year-old blonde broad. So
wonderful.
The best.
The smoking is bad too.
How so?
I mean, I just feel like the smoking circulates that air.
Yeah.
Puts it up around, and people are taking their mask off to do it, and I feel like it's a disaster.
Willie says he was at the Aliante Steakhouse. Mask had to stay on until food arrived. We've been kind of getting away with it, honestly. As soon as you sit down, because there are some places like this is what Adam got. Adam, what was the whole bar with the chicken wing thing you got mad about in New York? Where Cuomo's like, all right, enough of the bullshit. Like, where wasn't a bar giving out one chicken wing, and they're like, here you go, here's food. Take off your mask.
They would be like, yeah, they would. They had to serve food, or they had to serve food to be open.
Right.
That was the one, and then they would say like, okay. And then they would pass they would put a chicken wing out and say, hey, whoever wants to take a bite of this can come share it, or whatever they would do. Or they were making like an order of fries and giving one fry to everybody. Like, hey, we're serving food.
Right.
Like, no, you're not.
And I've had places do that where they just bring over like a little snack for the table and they're like, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Which again, I'm not anti-restaurant. I'm not anti-bar. In fact, I'm very pro. We like to go out, especially bars. But I mean, for anyone out there, if you're going to sit with a straight face and say that that's not part of the spread, I mean, I think we're kind of being silly here. It's the one place consistently we can be around people right now with a mask off.
Right.
And believe me, I'm there. I'm doing it. So like I've curbed it a little bit. By the way, the last 2 weeks of the stay at home. And again, since I'm seeing it, it means I'm out. But who has stayed at home?
Yeah.
There's been a couple of places I went to. Like, holy shit. Yeah, you did because you had to. Actually, well, truth be told, actually, the last 10 days, I think there was a run last week where I don't think I walked past into the actual street at my house. It was like 5 straight days of just doing the show from here. And I would walk out. I'd walk out after the show and like pull up some inflatables that, fall to the ground when the timer goes off. And I'm like, all right, that's it. Okay, there's sun. That's it. But anytime I did go out, it's been the roads have been crowded. Any place I went to have been crowded. Gone to have been crowded.
But when we talk about these mask things, though, like I think we're both very sympathetic to small businesses and places that want to stay open and trying to figure out ways to be creative and stay open. But like when there are these other things put in place, like you wear a mask at this time, you have to do it in between bites, like those sorts of things, which might sound obnoxious. Like it's how we can keep places open. Like, don't people understand that we're trying to come up with ways to allow places to stay open? Like that's why these rules are being put in place. So I don't get people that won't go on either one. I don't want to wear a mask and I want everything to be open. Like, okay.
Yeah. Oh,
it's not a COVID cough.
You gotta go.
Been talking a lot. Now I just have to drink water. Yeah, it's frustrating, but it's gonna get crazier. And what, to Marcus's point about the still we're blowing up at Marcus because said ridiculous things, but it wasn't a dry cough. I'm fine. The lockdown coming. Yeah, I don't think a full lockdown is coming. I mean, Sislak's in such a bad place because last time, again, I will stand by this forever. Casinos asked to shut down.
Right.
Like the reason we had a casino shut down is because casinos asked to shut down. They don't want to shut down again, so we're not going to shut down fully again. And if we don't shut down casinos, there's no sense in shutting anything. Like, what are we doing at that point?
Well, I mean, bars and restaurants locally do have a case at that point. They're like, wait, are we going to do this or not? Because if you're going to F us over again, no, we're not closing.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, it's going to be tough. Yeah, casinos asked last time. They don't want to do it again, so we're not going to.
It's all on us. I trust fellow man to do the right thing. It's all on us.
I don't. Again, I'm sitting here with COVID, so what am I saying?
Let's get into, I think, the story of the day, at least for our show, because it's very interesting. It should be nothing nationally, but the fact that I'm saying it's even national is amazing. Adam completely stuck it to the UNLV football program today.
Stop.
And raked Max Gillum and Arroyo over the coals with that horrible story and even more ridiculous headline. What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Max Gillum eats sushi off naked woman on reality show. It's gotten to a point, too, where I see people linking out or aggregating it. They're not even putting reality show. Like they're bumping reality show off. You can barely find the link. I would say 80% of the responses I saw on our threads are like, "Oh, that's typical Vegas. It's what happens when you go to Vegas." And it's like, it wasn't even here. It's typical millionaire kid. It's typical millionaire kid from Thousand Oaks, California. Not that we want to like clean up our image here in Vegas, but that, I mean, if their parents are like, "Oh, Vegas is fucking crazy," it was not here. Wasn't here. His family's got money. Somehow he got, I'm sure he got some kind of connection to get on the reality show. Like, and I'll throw one other thing in, and I don't think you were on at the time. I don't think Max was planning on being on the football team when he went to Antigua. I was told at the end of the football season last year that he was probably just done with football, which kind of makes sense, right? He wasn't playing last year. They're bringing in all these quarterbacks. You got a new coach. So, like, I don't even know if he, at the time, I don't have this confirmed, but I don't know if at the time in February, if he was, like, even processing that he was repping the university, that was a factor.
Well, I mean, for one thing, he probably, and he's not in charge of what they put on there, but for them to introduce him as the star quarterback at University of Nevada, Las Vegas wasn't good.
That's a good point. They did do that. Yeah.
But when you said this story went national, you're not kidding. My God. I mean, the places that have picked this story up, and I find it preposterous. First of all, he was on the show like 3 weeks ago.
The show was out. We talked about it. The show was out. The talk about the show was dead and buried. And then all of a sudden it's like breaking news. Oh, we just found out. Like UNLV couldn't keep this under wraps. Under wraps? What?
Okay, so I'm not completely comfortable with everything about the story. I'll say that. The story, anybody that actually read the story, thank you, first of all.
Yeah.
And there's like nothing controversial in the story. Like nothing.
There isn't.
The headline is a little bit sensational.
Oh no. It was on the front of the ESPN's website, ESPN.com today.
Oh my God. It was on TMZ, it was on CBS. I kept getting news alerts, like breaking news alerts, like from Yahoo and CBS on my phone.
Your story is up. That's what's breaking.
Not my story.
One of the rare times. Well, it's aggregated from your story.
I know there's a writer that I'm a fan of, covers a lot of college sports, Nicole Arbach.
Yeah.
Who tweeted about the story like 6 times and then tweeted, okay, off to tape a podcast about this with like a sushi emoji. Like, what are we doing? Max apologized. Let me first say there is zero reason for Max Gill to apologize. Zero. None. Completely ridiculous. I when I saw that he did that, I felt terrible for him. Also, the insinuations from people, like the things that people have said about him that I've seen on Twitter, that I was tagged in some of them, and some of them I just happen to be searching, is completely unfair and really fucked up. That you're just insinuating things about a kid. And like I get why you do. Hey, rich kid goes on the show, whatever. Like that's not who he is. And yeah, I will just say that if I was doing the headlines, that would not have been the headline. And if you read the story, it certainly was not in the beginning of the story. It wasn't in the lead of the story. It wasn't in the first couple graphs of the story.
I mean, technically, I don't know if the fold is a correct term for the internet, but I think it was below the first page. You had to scroll down at least one click.
Yeah,
at least
for sure. And now, to the people who write the headlines, credit. It worked. I mean, that story.
Why were staffers in your paper sending me the link and sending Tyler the link?
Because it got so much traffic that they were trying to get more and more people to click on it, I'm sure.
All right.
And if you notice, I didn't send it out.
Well, because my first thought with your paper, I don't exactly consider it a two-way relationship. So I was like,
yeah. Please
do not come at me and act like, hey, how about you help us out and link it out. Like, relax. I'm not playing this game.
No. When stories blow up like that one did, there's a big push to capitalize on the traffic. So I know since I wasn't sending it out because I wasn't thrilled about how it was presented.
You were protesting?
Listen, the story is what it is. The story is true. It's fine. It was just stating that he was on the show, which he was. Yes. I don't know. Like it was just a very simple, funny, fun story, and it because it has such a sensationalistic ring to it, like Vegas college kid eats
Yeah.
sushi off nude model. Like I understand why it gets picked up, but preposterous for Max to have to apologize. That to me was not comfortable. I am laying down. I'm stuck in my room, AJ. You missed the first 20 minutes. So yeah, I mean, listen, I get. Yes, we know Ari. I saw who was it that? Oh, the chef from the show, Chef Rachel.
Oh, the broad.
Tweeted,
Yeah, I like her.
tweeted out in his defense.
Yep.
Like, come on. And first of all, she's the one that was mocking them on the show. But it's one of those things that takes off, and you're like, all right. I mean, I wrote the story. He did it. It's true. Like, there's nothing untrue about it. Everything was completely on the up and up. It's just people love that headline, and it took off, and it made him apologize, which I feel terrible about. Um, you know, I hope that there's no repercussions.
You're not going to be happy with this. Let me run this by you. You could have written the story 2.5 weeks ago. From then until today, there was an incident that happened with the media and Arroyo. Was that any part of the paper's decision to run the story now? The incident was Bischoff got blocked by Arroyo.
Right.
Was there any, I don't want you to out yourself, but if I start putting 2 and 2 together, I could also see a staff being like, oh, he's going to block people, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's write this story. So I hope you guys didn't do that, but I know that happens.
Well, I will say the story has been written since the night that the show was on.
Right. So you've had it holding for like 17 days, 20 days.
If I mean, I probably shouldn't share these things. I just will. I'll say this. There was no other news. They needed to fill a hole in the paper today.
Yep. It hit. Today was a slower news day. I know people say that all the time, but it actually was.
Well, and because Sundays, we have a separate section that's all NFL. Sunday for Monday, right? So we needed something to fill the actual sports section. I mean, it's as simple as that. I also will say, when I woke up today and my phone, I think there was 52 notifications. That's how I found out it ran.
Right. Oh, so you didn't even know it was running. It had been on hold until the right day?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And there was no other sports going on. They had to fill a spot. They put it in. It's that simple.
What does this mean? Did you get a contact from UNLV or UNLV coaches today?
I didn't. I'm sure other people did. I also did. When the show was on, I reached out to Max. He, I don't think the school wanted him to talk about it. He was incredibly cool. I was honest with him that I thought it was funny. I thought it was great, and I was going to try to write a story about it.
He doesn't hate you for not putting him in the story?
Doesn't hate me for not putting him in?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
The point, I'm doubling down on what you just said, that you made an effort to get something from him weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
Correct? And you said that in the story. You said you reached out to Gillum, you reached out to the school, and you got no answer back, no comment.
Yeah. So
and that's why I don't know all the details. Adam's contact or trying to get a comment. That's why I said on the air today, I'm like, this is not a story. And I like the people over at UNLV, but I don't understand how they handle this. Be the driver on this. Be proactive. Control the narrative. It might have blown up a little bit, but like when Arroyo said on the press conference today, he's like, This just came to light. We've been made aware today. Like, no.
Bullshit.
Come on, guys. We were all made aware. I mean, Ari put up a note earlier that I posted in the video. Ari's like, we broke the story. No, the story was actually broken to us on this chat, on this video.
Yeah.
I remember someone talking about it, and you had some knowledge of it, and it was like, oh, it's out like tonight or tomorrow. That was like 3 Tuesdays ago, and we're like, yeah, let's go watch it. We talked about it here. We talked about it the next day on the show. I tried to shoehorn it into the show like 4 times, but you guys won't bite. I'm literally, I watch Below Deck every night.
Yeah, you love it.
I love the show, and you guys have shut it down. But I would have had a mention about it and Max like just about every day. So no one just discovered it. Come on.
Honestly, I think I'm most upset that my actual story, super clumsy. My actual story was a lot about him losing a beer pong match and losing the master bedroom. It was all cut out.
Oh, it was all cut out?
All cut out. I think. I didn't see it.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't remember that part.
It was like half the story.
You're a horse's ass. Don't ever say that again. That's blasphemous.
What?
It's a great show. It's a great show.
It's the shit, he said.
That's a good point. I misread it. He's the one going back and forth with me. I thought I didn't see the. It's too dark in here. Well, I'm not saying that's not you misunderstood what I said. I'm not saying we broke it or we broke it on air. They knew about it.
Of course
they knew. They knew about it weeks ago. They knew before the episode was coming out. They knew after the episode. There were 2 episodes. There were 2 episodes.
I can 1,000,000%.
Yeah, God.
I can 1,000,000% guarantee they knew about it. I know that they knew about it.
Was the naked sushi in the second appearance or first? Do you remember?
I think it was first, but even if it wasn't the first, they promoted it.
Yeah. Sorry, Jalen. We've been him and I know Ray Vegas 702. I was getting his handle wrong. 702 Ray Vegas, whatever. Yeah, we've been talking about it. So, all right. Well, I don't know. And then should I punch this up? I didn't get to play this on the air. You want to hear? Well, you know, before I play, what's your reaction to Tyler getting banned last week and then blocked and then unblocked on Twitter?
He got unblocked?
I mean, I have no idea. I was told that he was unblocked, I think, like during one of the shows when he was talking about it, I think.
That's amazing.
I don't know. You know what? Brady would know more about this. He's been like so into this and so outraged.
We've had quite a blocking, a Las Vegas sports personalities blocking the media run lately.
What else?
The car and Tashawn and other. I mean, Carr's blocked like everybody. But.
Well, Tashawn asking on the stream or on the press conference was interesting.
I loved it.
Sorry, I'm fine. Trying to find the cut.
No, that's fine.
Let's see.
The real interesting thing would have been if the locker rooms were open, if you would have asked him in person.
I think
I think you would have.
Here's Arroyo and Bischoff this morning on the press conference. See if this comes up. If the levels are good. It's kind of hard to control the show in the dark. Maybe I should put a light on.
Marcus, with Max, is there any punishment as far as playing time goes for him for this final game?
Geez.
No, we're internally working through that, but no, not at this point.
And then on Justin Rogers, what's his availability for this game?
He's still working through some health conditions that are limiting him.
Okay. Thanks, Marcus.
Yep. All right. Their relations is back. It's good.
That's good. That's quality back and forth right there.
Yeah, it was quick. He asked a couple questions. No, he didn't.
I nominate Tyler to host the coaches show.
Long shot.
Probably not happening.
Definite long shot. No, he didn't do that. He was polite.
Working through that. working through that.
Oh, the Justin Rogers. Yeah, I don't think he's going to play in this Hawaii game.
Is Max? I hope so.
Willie says Rogers second on the depth chart. Oblad nowhere to be found.
Well, I mean, my theory at the beginning of the season was they were just trying to get him to transfer.
Yeah, I would think that's going to be the outcome on Oblad.
That wasn't the first time Max came up, right? I heard that Arroyo addressed the Max stuff. Did he just say it, or was he asked about it?
Now here it is. He opened the press conference with it.
Oh God.
Yeah. Let's get this out of the way.
I also want to take right now the opportunity to talk about a recent article about a TV show from February. We were unaware of the matter until it was brought to our attention this morning. We need to talk about a recent article about a TV show from February. We were unaware of the details of the matter until it was brought to our attention this morning. We're reviewing the matter internally. However, when we talk intently about what we're building here, we mean thoroughly and completely. And each of our players, especially our senior leadership, must recognize that when we go out in public, we're representing this team, this university, and the alumni and fan base. How we conduct ourselves in public is just as important as how we do on the field. I was made aware of Max's recent statements, and it's apparent that he also agrees. So that's as far as I'll go with that, and I'll let that go.
Okay, we're gonna let that go. That's it. There you go.
Oh Lord. What he has nothing to apologize for. And by the way, if you watch the show, he actually came across very respectfully.
I think that group in general is, I mean, I haven't watched all the episodes yet, but was like the most free of drama. They weren't obnoxious to the staff. It was a bunch of young dudes too, with some young women. They didn't harass the female staff. The women weren't all over the guys. It was actually, I said it on the air today. If I were the producers of Below Deck, I'd be like, do we even want to run this? This was kind of boring.
Well, they got the sushi.
But even that wasn't, pun intended, that titillating.
No, I agree with you.
I think they made a couple of whatever beaver jokes or something. I don't know what they did, but okay, whatever. Can I grab this one right here in her crotch? And that was it.
They came across as kind of dorky, but very respectful. Just, it was fine. I thought there was not much to it. I agree.
Yeah, it was back in February, yes.
Well, that was a really subtle way to sneak that in there.
Oh, the way he did it?
Made aware of a show from back in February. Yeah, okay. It aired a couple weeks ago.
Right.
It didn't air in February.
Oh, did he say it that way? That he gave the impression that it was on in February?
Or he was like, I was made aware of a show from back in February. Okay. Make it seem as like it was just written now from something that was on in February.
Let's see.
I also want to take right now the opportunity to talk about a recent article about a TV show from February. We were unaware of the details.
Yeah. Listen, I like Arroyo. I'm not here to slam Arroyo. I just think I think they're making a little too big a deal of the Vegas media, and there's no adversarial deal. There really never has been. The only time it gets adversarial is when it's clearly, I guess I'm doubling up here, when it's obvious the coach is going, and the criticism at the end is like, all right, enough. I think the only time it kind of got biting was with Sanford. I think Houck and Sanchez at the end, and people piled on Sanford for making comments, coming off as kind of an excuse maker. But frankly, when you look back on it, the excuses he made, as you say all the time, Adam, a lot of them were facts.
Yeah.
Like the locker rooms at Sam Boyd are unbelievably bad. It really was for the longest time, a real detriment to the program. So, but I don't know. I feel like stuff is being drummed up that's not really there. And it's not an adversarial media group when it comes to UNLV football. I think most people here are like, well, it'd be cool. It'd be nice to cover a winning program. you're not outright rooting for him, but no one is going. Who said it earlier? Who you described as what hard hitting journalist? I don't. I forget.
I don't
Someone
know.
put up there, but it's like no one's really doing that.
Even that story was meant as, hey, it's kind of cool. This kid was on a reality show. It's kind of funny.
Oh,
But there was nothing in the story.
but your headline writer flipped that around.
Sure.
Like they could have put UNLV quarterback eats sushi off naked woman. How fun!
Could have
Wouldn't
been
you
UNLV
like-
quarterback.
Yeah.
UNLV quarterback appears on reality show, and then
Right.
nobody reads it. Like, and I get why headlines are done the way they
You were
are. I
friends
get
with
it.
them.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you like to hang with Max and Dax? We didn't get that.
And Jax, by the way, Max, Dax, and Jax, who aren't brothers.
Yeah, I corrected Candy on the air today. I thought Dax was her brother, but no.
It was. Listen, it sucks for the kid. The story is what it is. It's not even. There wasn't anything malicious, anything even there. The headline took off, and that's good for my business. It sucks for him. I wish it wasn't that way, but the story certainly wasn't meant to be anything that he would have to apologize for, or the university issue a statement on. My goodness, that was not even a thought.
How would we react if what? I had COVID or I ate sushi naked off of someone?
You ate sushi naked off someone.
Wait, I'm naked or she's naked?
She is.
If I were naked, then yeah, it's termination. And there's photos. Immediate.
Yeah.
I don't think the station would give a rat's ass.
No, they'd be happy that you got attention.
I think I'd be okay. Who says I haven't? Who says I won't?
Yeah.
Right. That'll be it'll be a billboard. I'll be shirtless with a pair of dye over my nipples, with like 7 pieces of sushi stuffed in my mouth. Yeah, we just twisted this whole thing. Yes. I was naked on the yacht. Very small banana leaf for the crotch. Just like a half piece of sushi. It's a rough day. I was swimming earlier. Right. Yeah, that would be a hoot. Hey, can you do during COVID? Can you go do a show from a strip club? What the fuck? You ate sushi off a mostly covered woman? How outrageous are you?
It's true.
But I will rep the other side. I don't understand the other side. There are people, and again, we're desensitized. There are people who look at it like, hey, you are repping university. Frankly, the school has gone out of its way to not even consider bounce back coaches who have had issues. So they're trying to cultivate a certain image. So I kind of understand. I sort of understand where they're coming from. I think I don't know. It's just weird the way they handled it today, because I would say, hey, Max, you needed to communicate this. We got blindsided by the RJ story. Like, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
I'm not even sure what you'd be mad about on that front. And you know what? Here's the thing. There's always people in every market out to get different people. Not everyone is fired up that Arroyo got hired. Not everyone is fired up that DRF is running the program. So there's always going to be people out there. So hell, you remember last year, right, Adam, when we were doing Crazy Horse 3, and there's like some, anonymous, we're media insiders trying to come at me and like tag Desiree Reed Francois that we were doing shows, that I was doing your sideline reporters doing shows around naked women at a strip club. What are you going to do about this? And I'm like, first of all, if you tweet that, go fuck yourself, because now you're fucking with my livelihood. Like, this is not pretend and someone out of the market, dickhead, or whoever, if it was a clunt. But hey, that's probably a case where they're like, hey, Cofield's an asshole, so let's try to get him. Trying to get me in trouble with UNLV. Like, cut it out. But there's people out there who are like that. So,
Yeah, that certainly was not the case here. Even though I was accused of it, even though people on Twitter said that's what I was doing, that's not what happened. So, I do think it really sucks for Max. I do.
No, it's terrible. Here's the other thing. A lot, like most people don't have and haven't had access to Max, and I'm not just joking about this year, but in the past, he's not. He wasn't put up as a rep of the program. He wasn't speaking a whole bunch. He's like genuinely one of the nicest, quietest kids you're going to meet. So he's nothing like what anyone would think. Some crass asshole. Oh, must be like a football player. Frat boy attitude, objectifying women, abusing women. Like no, not at all. But
no.
What are you gonna do?
And as he said in his apology that he didn't have to issue,
right?
He said it was the producer's idea. They're like, how about if we do this? How about if we serve you sushi on this girl?
Yep. And they're like, yeah, okay. Not thinking through that there'd be some people who might be embarrassed by him doing that or think it's a bad look for the school and the football program.
I honestly like the weirdest thing to me is that it took this long for anybody to notice it.
Yep.
It's just that was the weirdest part. Like anybody could have blown that up. If
we could have blown it up. We could have blown it up on the radio side, but we're so desensitized, and sometimes we have such a that's not a big story mentality.
Yeah.
Because I'm not thinking like gotcha person, but I guess it's.
I did. I didn't think it was a big story.
Yeah.
At all.
That's it. That's a new standard. I'm only going to eat sushi if it's off a naked girl.
Well, it's not really ideal in COVID times.
I bet you she's clean as hell.
Yeah, I just don't think that passed any like mask mandates she could wear a mask, I guess. Does it matter at that point?
Did you get the sushi?
What kind it was?
Did we find out? Yeah, specifically.
Chef Rachel tweeted it out.
Oh, she did?
I think so.
I like her.
Me too.
She's a good character. I haven't seen. Are there multiple chefs in this thing? Because I've seen Ben. I haven't gotten to the middle season yet. So I like Ben
in season 1.
He's in season 1 and 2 at least. They just got rid of Andrew. Fucking nightmare. God. Some of these people. Someone is now recommending a good phone holder for you.
I have one. I have a video set up downstairs.
Well, I mean, logically, yeah. She'd be super scrubbed off. I mean, sushi stuff.
I don't know. They boated her in from the island.
No, they were. God damn it! I can't remember. I thought she walked up. I think they were docked somewhere because she walked up. Yeah, I don't think she came on via boat. I don't think. But
didn't they have to send the small boat to get her?
I don't think so.
I don't know why I'm echoing again. By the way. No, nothing. Now I'm better. And now I'll try. Okay, Brady.
Well, I'll tell you what. In season 2, some jabronis tried to screw over the chef, and they were like, "Oh, there's plastic in my food." He fucking flipped out. He freaking stormed upstairs, basically like, "You're serious? Like, you sure it didn't come off that bottle right there where I can see plastic hanging?" And they were like, "We're so sorry," because he's like, "This is for a chef from a rep standpoint." He said it. He's like, "What do you think? I'm some reckless jackass?"
And they've done it themselves.
I think so. Yeah, they were kind of jerk offs. There's a bunch of broads with some rich guy, all fake bombs, complaining about everything. But they gave the biggest tip of the season so far. So of both seasons. Again, don't spoil it, please. I know we have a whole room that watches Below Deck.
A lot more people than I thought watch it.
I told you. I don't understand why you haven't jumped on board.
Was that a pun?
That's a good point. Oh, this is, you know what? We're not going super long tonight. I'm going to use the excuse that Adam is still sick, so we want him to get healthy. Dude, So the Steelers won. I'm sorry, the Steelers lost. Unbeaten season's over. So what does that mean? The 72 Dolphins
Oh, God.
will. Yep. Why is it? Oh God.
They're ridiculous celebrating every time. Did you see Zonka?
Today, did he do something?
Dude, he posted. I think he posted on Twitter.
Well, because I was wondering. I was wondering what motivated. Like this sounds like our show, but I wondered what motivated this because then not only does it sound like our show, but a lot of the reactions were like, "Fuck the Dolphins. We hate the 72 Dolphins."
I hate.
Like
that.
I don't think they realize what they did over the years. Because now people are like, we're tired of hearing this shit, okay? And really, it's Mercury Morris who drove the bus on that. And you remember how long ago was this now? Was that like 8 years ago? 10? Where Paul Howard went at Mercury Morris, and like Mercury Morris was like ready to fight him, and Paul's like, okay. Like basically, we're tired of hearing this, okay?
It's obnoxious.
I mean, on one hand, it's an incredible thing they did, going unbeaten and finishing it off. No one else has done it. I mean, it's a weird team, the Dolphins. They really, for going unbeaten and winning a Super Bowl, they really weren't a dominant team, and no one considers them. I'm not even sure they'd be considered a top 20 team in NFL history.
No.
But they did get it done. So here's someone under the name of Ken Tremendous. And it says here, with the Steelers' loss, it's time to congratulate the only perfect NFL team in history, the 72 Dolphins, who, if they had played this year's Jets, would have lost roughly 84-0.
It's true.
I feel like it's hashtag too soon on that, but it's 100% something you would say.
Of course. And we're not saying because they're old and dead. Like if their team at their prime played this year's Jets in their prime. Which I don't know if that would be this year.
I mean, this Brian guy, these are the worst guys in sports. Jesus. Selfish, bitter, and unable to celebrate any accomplishments aside from their own. Ben says, I won't go for the easy comparison, but it's there.
Can you see if Zonka tweeted a video?
I'll look for it. But here's another one. The guy immediately looks up the size on the lines.
They're tiny.
Yeah. Left tackle 6'5", 220. Right tackle 6'5", 250.
But I mean, 84-0 is hilarious. But people understand this to happen, right? That the Jets are so much better than they are.
By this thread, yes. I mean, obviously, this is sarcasm from Chris Greenfield, who says those Dolphins are smaller, sure, but what about grit and stick-to-itiveness? They played the game the way it was meant to be played. They knew all the unwritten rules. They went on sheer force of will and gumption.
Okay. Thanks, Chris.
Sarcasm.
I hope so.
No, it was total sarcasm. Yeah, the 2020 Jets would beat the 72 Dolphins 100-0. I don't think so, but all right, there you go.
Somebody said they'd have killed the Bengals, though. Not true.
Does anyone have the Larry Zonka tweet? Research people. I can look it up.
Yeah, we can just talk and do nothing as it goes on. They showed it on ESPN, I thought. I know they showed a video from Zonka that I thought that he had posted to his Twitter, and they made reference because, of course, Greasy's dad, Brian Greasy's on the broadcast, his dad, Bob, was on that 72 team, and Brian said he got a text about his dad busting open the champagne.
They're all 75 years old, so, I mean...
Zonka looked 100.
Huh? Did you ever watch a guy play?
And Zonka was drinking, like, whiskey.
He should.
Yeah.
Now, that said, Zonka one-on-one would fucking destroy any of us.
Now?
Yes.
He's 80.
Don't ever underestimate a football player. If they can walk, they can beat your ass. Especially a guy that big.
Not Zonka. He looks little now, too.
What's little?
I mean, I still don't understand why old people start shrinking. It's a very weird concept to me. I've never understood this.
I know I'm gonna be like 5'3" by the time I'm 60.
They're like withering away.
I don't believe that he's small.
Why do you get smaller? It just doesn't make any sense.
I don't. I have to see I have to see Larry Zonka. I don't believe that he's small.
He looked tiny to me.
I was around Jim Brown probably when he was like 65, and I was like, that guy would fuck me up.
All right, Jim Brown's different.
How is he different? They're both
He's just-
Zonka and Jim Brown are like gigantic running backs for their like those. That's the thing. There's outliers. Like those are guys who you're like, okay, they're 6'1", 6'2", and back then they were playing at 215, 220, 225. Which
But Jim Brown probably could have played.
What do you mean?
He could have played like into his 50s if he wanted to. If
Oh,
not
absolutely.
for injuries and stuff. Yeah.
He certainly could have played another 5-6 years. He retired when he was 32 years old.
Right.
Actually, maybe younger. I think it was 30. I'm thinking of his number. I forgot about Zonka's run on American Gladiators.
That's true. On the what was the human cannonball or the gauntlet? Oh, there you go. Cameron, look at Cameron doing some producing for us.
The video.
It's impressive.
Let me get the video.
Oh, Brady's really slacking. You let Cameron produce the show tonight. Impressive though. That was good. But I think the bottom line on this is everybody can agree it's obnoxious. First of all, the Patriots already went undefeated. And I know they didn't get the Super Bowl, but they went undefeated. That's what the celebration is about.
No. That's not what celebration's about. The celebration is unbeaten and win the title. No one else has done it.
It was always about being undefeated, though.
No, it was
that was the thing, and then they had to change
for the
it.
entire freaking season. They didn't change it. They
Of
won
course
a
they
title.
did.
Oh, stop.
The Patriots went undefeated. Like, oh, now you got to win the regular and postseason going undefeated. And I mean, I guess on some level you could say like these old men, all they have now is this. So you understand it on some level, but it's just so obnoxious every single year. Oh, we get to toast. We get to have one good day every year. Pop open the champagne because somebody lost. Also, the Steelers weren't that good to begin with. I was looking back through a lot of their games this week, and a couple close calls. They've had a really weak schedule for the most part. Got bailed out in the Baltimore game. So not a very impressive last undefeated team.
I don't know. I'm working on it. Another question for you. Rudy Giuliani thanked people for the prayers he got.
Yeah.
After testing positive for COVID. I was going to say not to be an asshole, but I will be. Would you pray for him?
Well, I wouldn't pray for anybody.
Right. If you were a praying person.
Well, I think if you're a praying person, you're supposed to pray for anybody, right? Even the people that you don't like or care for. So I think if you are into that sort of thing, then you would pray for even your enemies.
All right.
But like in his case, he is like if anybody has openly courted coronavirus, it's him.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, I'm a Washington fan.
Hold on.
I hate these so much.
Well, but the
really
thing
do.
is, it's not obnoxious.
Of course it is.
I would like him to work on the lighting as I sit in a dark room. Even my room's more lit. I like this. It's just the right amount of obnoxiousness. He's got the TV in the background. He's got the score. He's got, Big Ben looking all concerned. He's got a stogie. I don't know, Adam. You said he looked small. Look at his forearms. Like he wouldn't wring your neck with those forearms?
No, come on. He's 80.
Hmm.
How great would it have been, though, if behind him, while he's doing this, the Steelers get like a Hail Mary?
Here he is again. Let's try it.
Tonight, I'm a Washington fan. Yeah.
was good. And he laughs. He got the laugh. It was subtle. It was subtle.
I hate that.
73.
73? I would have thought older.
Yeah. Jay Lawrence, Giuliani may be a massive dick and a douchebag, but he's still a human.
Is he?
All right, we'll leave it at that. Is he?
I mean, he's exposed so many people. Yes, I'm not saying he's not a human. He is, but he has exposed so many people. He's made people take masks off. He's been basically asking to get it. Like, so many people have been trying to do everything they can not to. And what am I saying? I got it. But I mean, so many people have been trying so hard and trying to make sure nobody else gets it. And he's just asking for it. So now we're supposed to feel bad that he got it?
CJ Cards fan, do you think he wears a Dolphin shirt every day? I would do it.
No. Saturdays he wears American Gladiator shirts.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. Him and Siren or whatever.
I love Siren. Do you have an issue with this one? Are we not going to mention he has closed captioning on?
Of course he does. Can't hear.
I have it on most of the time.
Well, do you think I'll ask you for you too? But do you think he can't hear, or doesn't know how to turn it off? Maybe he just doesn't know how to turn it off.
That's a good point.
Also, is that like a box TV?
I don't think so,
Okay.
but it may have a back. It may not be a thinner TV like we have now.
I don't think it's HD.
I know we're checking out this. This is why I don't post videos of like anything around the house, because everyone breaks down every goddamn. That's why you do videos in the dark. So I'm looking over here. I'm like, is that outlet all fucked up? Is that like an open thing on his wall? What's going on?
Is he at a home?
I don't know.
Poor Zog.
I think he's doing fine. He's a legend. He's a legend in South Florida. He probably never has to buy a dinner ever again. This is also a good roll call for everyone in South Florida, where it's like, hey, I'm still here. I'm still here. So you can buy me a dinner every once in a while. Give me some drinks. Give me some of this whiskey.
Every year we get to figure out which ones aren't around anymore.
God, you guys are assholes. You're bigger assholes than the ones on that the thread saying the Jets would beat him 84-0. If I remember, I'll ask Petro if he worships him. Maybe he does. He might have a good I met Zonk one time.
Zonk. I don't like the way he's smiling combined with the way his hat is so weird. Is his hat too small?
It looks small. He's got a giant noggin. He is one of the guys who has carried the mustache into the 2020s. And that's pretty rare now.
That's true. Good old Zonk.
Now this is a good point. Maybe he's not doing that poorly. You did need the Sunday ticket, or you had to steal it today.
Because
it was on 7/12.
Most of the East it was on.
Well, I have to look at the map. I don't know if Florida had it. I thought the map cut off at North Carolina as far as going. It was like North Carolina. Check that. Carolina actually didn't get it on their Fox affiliate. I think Tennessee did, but that was as far south, I think.
What if he's got like his laptop hooked up to like a stream and he's casting it to his TV?
Like he's completely high tech.
He's got a Reddit stream like pirated, and he's casting it through the computer to the TV.
Wait. So could you get it on? You didn't have that Sunday ticket.
No.
7/12 was coming up.
Anybody with DirecTV got it.
Well, I don't have DirecTV, so
yeah. Cord cutter.
Yep. So you guys always send over places we can steal it. Thank you, appreciate it. Or maybe not. Maybe it's like on site. All right, there's another one.
If I would have watched it today, that's how I would have watched it.
That's how we know there was a little message in the corner that something got blocked. Some vicious attack got blocked. Really? Which Village pub had it, of all places?
Well, if they had DirecTV.
And maybe a lot of bars had it. Actually, they all have DirecTV if they have the package.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm sure they all did.
only one problem: I couldn't relocate the show to a bar today.
True.
I'm sure I can do that any other day.
Fuck. Just obnoxious smile.
Decatur and Windmill. Ah, you're right. There's one down there.
Decatur and Windmill.
Yeah, south of the 215.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. I rarely go south on Decatur from 215.
Never do. I almost moved there, but got beat out for a place. So
It's not far from me.
15 years ago. Yeah. Would have been convenient.
Decatur doesn't go all the way through, does it?
It does. Yeah. Now it does. Yeah. They built it. Catch up, dude. They built it through like 7 years ago. Something like that.
Or I'm thinking Jones didn't.
Ari, it is the best. It's because it's lightly traveled, so you can get back and forth pretty quick, and then you got access to all the highways. Yeah,
Oh,
Decatur.
I definitely know Decatur. Then. Yeah, okay.
Come out to Blue Diamond, and then I think like another light down is the shopping center with the Kohl's and whatever else is in
Oh,
there.
so wait, Decatur turns into Sohai Park. Right?
I don't know that.
I think it does.
Already complaining about traffic. All right. Oh, that was the BJ's. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that BJ's, but it was always quiet, man. There was no one ever in there. Those places were fucking palaces, man. That was another one that got, I mean, I'm sure the owner, anyone know the owner? I'm sure the owner cashed out in a big way because I think they sold out to a lot of the slot halls. That was a BJ's right behind the MGM garage, right?
Yeah, I think it was.
God, I love that place.
Then it became that Red Diamond or Red Dragon or whatever.
Red Dragon, so it's part of, I think that's the Dottie's chain. Yeah, I used to, I think it was pre-fight for a lot of the UFC fights because I don't know why I walked over there, but I would walk over to BJ's behind the MGM and take an hour off. Not even sure that's an accurate story. I know I walked over there for some reason. I don't know what the hell I was covering, but I used to go in and
It would be UFC or boxing events for sure. There's always something going on at that place too.
yes. Yeah, first time you went in, you didn't know what it was. It was weird. It was quite ornate for a local Vegas bar. The old days, even 5 years ago.
Yeah.
All right, Adam, we'll let you get some rest.
Yep.
We might get Adam back on Cofield and Company maybe at the end of the week, hopefully.
Hopefully.
If you can actually do a 3-hour show, we'll see.
Should.
He's coming back strong.
Yeah. Just need that negative test. Let's go.
That's all you need. All right, everybody.
We need to borrow somebody's nasal passage. Get the swab in there. Take it for me.
Is that the next big controversy? Charles Williams have to apologize for eating at a BJ's just because it sounds creepy.
Let's hope not.
Yeah, you know what? That's funny. Hey, Ari, you see this? So we're trying something new on radio. Technology called Clean Feed. And just between us, I've made the suggestion we should just live stream this. It seems fine, except for the occasional echo here and there, but I don't know. They're fighting me on it, so because they asked today. They're like, how come Candy's audio is so much better than your mic? And I'm like, well, he has a better mic and he's got slightly better equipment, but I'm like, I don't know. Sounds fine here. So we're working on it.
I was on the show today. I was a guest. I heard Candy like he was in studio with me, and I could barely hear you were on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Look at Ari. What the fuck? Dude, I don't know what to tell you. It's the same exact setup.
Perfect.
But it is your fault, Ari. Get it together.
Yep.
But on a serious note, we do want the feedback. You know, so we're trying to figure it out. So if it sounds like ass during the regular show during the day, then tell us. So, and Pickle Gamer will we can't fix anything, but we're trying to get we have to be accurate on taking caller 7. So, and we are giving away $2,000 at the end of the month, courtesy of Paul Padala. So take advantage of that. There's a sounder during the show. It starts on Wednesday, and yeah, that's another point. I think we're doing Festivus on the 21st or 22nd. So I guess we could make it a whole. Boy, wouldn't that go over well if there was a whole show complaining about the sound? What if we gave out the Chief Tech's name?
Bad idea.
It wouldn't go over well.
No.
Yeah. But it could be a male name that rhymes with